Okay. You see, only 15 have joined. Okay, so you see, valves are used to control the direction. We have seen, right? How that 1, 2, and yes, 1, 2, and 3 is able to achieve different movement of the load, right? So valves are used to control the direction, flow rate, and pressure of compressed air. Not just the direction, but also how much flow rate and how much pressure should the compressed air flow with. That also is being controlled by these valves. There are different kinds of valves. Generally, we see that in our tap also we have this ball kind of valve, right? And butterfly valve, etc. Different kinds of valve to control this flow. External power supply or motor is used to drive the compressor, right? We have seen that motor, that's an external power supply. Piping system carries the pressurized air from one location to another. So all that piping system in between is able to carry that compressed air. Okay, clear, right? Pneumatic system. Okay, so you see, next is your hydraulic system, right? As we know that in 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 place of a compressed air, you have a pressurized liquid here, right? So hydraulic systems are power transmitting assemblies employing pressurized liquid as a fluid for transmitting energy from an energy generating source to an energy using point to accomplish useful work. So energy generating source, right, to an energy using point. So basically to move that piston, right? So we are transmitting the energy using that pressurized liquid. Applications include material handling systems, robots, hydraulic work holding systems, hydraulic forklifts, jack, etc. So there are many applications, but as in context of automation in our manufacturing systems, so we can have these kind of applications. Who is that? So you see, those are all the applications, right? From material handling to robots. Those That's a very good example to give, because almost all the robots that we see that are used in the industry, industrial control systems, operate with hydraulic system as their major driving system. Okay, so not just for material handling, but also work holding devices. Also, they use hydraulic systems to actuate those. So you see, when it comes to basic components of a hydraulic system, so you have, just as you had in pneumatic system, you will have this here, but the major difference is you have this return supply, right? Return fluid coming back to the reservoir. Okay, so you see, starting from your motor, let's start from the motor. Okay, this pump, okay, which is going to provide us the pressurized liquid, how is it operating? With the help of a motor. Okay, a motor will drive that pump, right, converting the mechanical energy into what will the pump do? It will convert the mechanical energy supplied by the motor to the hydraulic energy, right? So the motor itself is taking the electrical energy and converting it to mechanical. That mechanical energy is being supplied to the pump. The pump is directly connected with the shaft, so that the pump is having that mechanical energy, converts it into hydraulic energy by giving it to the fluid. Okay, so you have a filter here, and with that filter, I mean, in between you have the supply from the reservoir. Okay, it filters out, because just as you had air filter there, you have this filter here that will filter out any unwanted impurities, etc., so that it doesn't damage the uh, components that are to come later. So filter, pump, okay, it takes in, and then you see that arrow also, if you can observe, you see that arrow, initial arrow is with what color? This uh, some sort of green color, we can say. So that's hydraulic fluid supply. Okay, that is what you're taking from the reservoir. But after going to the pump, it has now got hydraulic energy, and therefore we are calling it, that's a hydraulic pressure. It is carrying hydraulic pressure. Okay, so that, and then pressure regulator will give us an indication of how much, basically it will regulate the pressure. Okay, we'll see on the gauge how much is the pressure, and then it goes to the control valve. Okay, directional control valve, just as we had uh, in pneumatic system, you have this directional control valve, and different mechanisms, as I told you, there are different mechanisms to achieve the same control valve. Okay, to be able to control the opening and closing of valve, you have different mechanisms, right? Some of them I mentioned, like a ball, okay, or a butterfly valve, and etc. So that pressurized fluid will come in, go through this control valve, and the control valve will control whether it is to be sent to the upper uh, pipe or the lower one. Okay, so there is basically, okay, so there's basically, you can say, in and out of fluid valve. Okay, from both, from the same pipe, you have the fluid going in, coming out. Okay, because when the directional control valve sends it to the upper pipe, okay, it goes into that uh, cylinder. Okay, when it goes from the top, it will create a pressure so that this weight is lifted, is lowered down, right? It is going to have pressure, I mean, it is going to impose pressure here, and that pushes it down. So same, just like you had in pneumatic, you'll have the same operation here, except that you can have in and out of this fluid. Okay, if you want to lower the weight, you will supply this fluid from the top. Okay, taking, because this is an incompressible fluid, right? The reason why we have to take out the fluid is because liquids are incompressible, so you cannot have that liquid there and this weight will go down. No, you have to take out the liquid, okay, for this weight to come down or go up, for that matter. So for both the actions, for it to go up or down, you have to have the exchange of liquid, that pressurized liquid. So this directional control valve will control it. As you can see, 1, 2, and 3. 1 is to hold, basically whatever is there. For example, this situation is what you want to hold. Okay, so you will put it in one, okay, one position, so that whichever position this piston is in, it will remain in that position. You want to either lower it or raise it, you'll use 2 and 3, extend or retract, right? And there is this return fluid, okay, going back to the reservoir again, right? So that's those are the basic components of a hydraulic system. Okay, hydraulic actuator is a device used to convert the fluid power into mechanical power to do useful work. That actuator is what will ensure that pressurized liquid is, that the hydraulic energy from that pressurized fluid is converted into mechanical motion. The actuator may be of the linear type, example hydraulic cylinder. For example, we have seen, have you seen that JCB, right? That excavator, or we can even take the example of an excavator, right? So how do they perform? With the help of hydraulic systems only, right? So that cylinder will have the fluid inside, right? And the movement of the fluid will make that cylinder to come in and like protrude out and go in. Okay, so that's the example of a linear type. Okay, it could, there are even rotary types also to provide linear or rotary motions respectively. So the hydraulic pump, as we know, is used to force the fluid from the reservoir to the rest of the hydraulic circuit by converting mechanical energy into hydraulic energy, right? That energy was supplied by the motor. So we know how a pump performs, right? So that's about the hydraulic pump. Valves, as we discussed, control the direction, pressure, and also flow rate of that fluid flowing throughout the circuit. Piping system carries the hydraulic oil from one place to another, right? Just like you had that in pneumatic, you have this in hydraulic also. Filters used to remove any foreign particles so as to keep the fluid system clean and efficient, as well as avoid damage to the actuator and valves, because this fluid will be going in to those valves, it will be in contact with them. So there are even properties that are required, right, for the fluid, for that pressurized fluid, that it has to have non-corrosive behavior, and it should not be toxic, etc. Because if it leaks to the environment, and because workers are in the industry, they will be in contact with it, so it should be non-toxic, non-corrosive, etc. So on top of that, you have the filters to make sure that you don't have any foreign particles. Okay, pressure regulator, as the name suggests, regulates, that is to say maintains the required level of pressure in the hydraulic fluid. Okay, so pressure regulator we have seen, right? Pressure regulator. Okay, doubts in hydraulic systems? No doubts. The next topic is part feeding devices, but I think it is only sensible to start it in the next class. Okay, if there are no doubts, then we can end the class and you can join the next class. Okay, okay, then I'm ending the meeting. Okay, thank you.